another form video. I hope you don't get sick of them now. I've been making some of them. But this video I have something interesting that I discovered, and I want to take it with you. And this changed the entire perspective for me about Sequential Fourm. And that is the levels, you know. It's quite interesting because on the Pro tree I have like the biggest thing that's important there for me is to reduce the levels. Here it's the opposite. I need to increase them, and that's what I discovered, that this synth sounds so much more to my taste. And by meaning that increasing the levels, I don't mean increasing this main volume. I mean the program volume instead of the params. So let me give you the example here. Initialized patches are around 100. Kind of thin sounding. When I increase the program volume to around 127, also need to decrease the main volume here. Sounds much better. And I haven't been making a deep dive now, so my big question is that what happens when I increase the program volume? Is it at the end, which I believe? That's what I think, before it reaches the main output. So this must be like controlling the main output volume. So the program must be living somewhere here in before that part. And of course, when I visualize there and there, doesn't make any sense because it depends on where on the circuit board it's located in the signal path. So what to say? Well, now it sounds better to my taste. But perhaps it comes down to that this will be too much when we are playing full voices. Perhaps not. Should we have a look at it? So we can start by an initialized patch. One thing that I discovered a bit late that frustrates me a bit, it's that when I make an initialized patch, I would like these routings to be disabled, not to be enabled, you know. But it's well thought out anyway, because it's made like you're using the mod wheel, and it should initialize the frequency modulation from the mod LFO to the VCOs. Okay, we start now. The program volume should be around 100, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. And we make let's make a typical pad here that you have been hearing so much. Okay, we're at 100 now, increasing the main volume. So what happens if I go to 127? I'm aware that perhaps I need to reduce the main output now. Will there be any internal distortion now? Not that bad, right? Not that bad. Perhaps there is some sort of distortion, like very soft internal, that I don't pick up so well with my headphones now, but sure. Well, at least we can gain it up a bit then. Or even put it at full. Because normally we are using the program volume to be able to put more like a controlled manner of volume between programs so they don't jump too much between each other on the synth. But I think that this did a trick that I didn't even expect it to do. I think I'm prepared to say that this changed the entire perspective for me on this synth now, because now I started to like it a lot actually. The only thing that I would like would be a fifth voice, of course, but I think many people would say that that would be nice to have. So I think this is starting to make sense now. Let's talk a bit about the modulation buses. If you make a program and you want to modulate something on the synth, the modulation might seem to be a bit confusing at the start, but it's actually very simple. Over here you have the sources and here you have this destination part. I haven't used a Pro 1, but probably this should be like a Pro 1 style. But I don't know, I haven't used one, but that's what I've been reading about. So let's say that I want to take this LFO to modulate, for example, the frequency of the cutoff. Then I just press this to get it red, and this one cutoff to get it red. Red indicates a direct connection. So this is a direct connection between the LFO that goes to this knob. This is like, imagine a valve opening a flow of water. And now you can increase how much it should flow, like current, which will control the cutoff. So listen to this. So the other way is that you can press this once more and it's blue. This is another thing that will happen now, because now it will go, I don't know how we should visualize this. I think we should visualize it like this. When it's blue, what happens is that it will take the mod source. First it will go there, and imagine that the amount you set here doesn't go directly to the cutoff now. Instead, you will need to turn the mod wheel. And when you turn the mod wheel, you will increase the amount, which is the maximum amount you set there. But we are not done there, because you need to go to this side, press this one more to get it in same color. So blue is a bus where it goes through the mod wheel. The red is a direct one that goes direct from the source to the knob and the cutoff. Now it's going from, I think we can visualize it like this. Now it's going from the LFO to the amount, and this controls how much of the amount you should have. So listen to this. Very simple. And what's important to notice now is that the direct bus and the modulation bus, they are two separate ones. So if you want, for instance, this, let's say this oscillator B to modulate the cutoff, what you need to do is to put it first, so it's red, because this is a direct connection. And if you listen to this now, this won't affect the cutoff, but if you press this one more time, it becomes purple. And I think they are thinking like this: when you mix blue and red, it becomes purple. Perhaps they think like that. And then it's mixing the modulation source together with that modulation source that is direct. So listen to this now. There you have the LFO. That's oscillator B modulating the filter cutoff. So now if you do like this, they are blending. But if you want the cutoff only to be controlled by this function here, so the blue bus there, if you want this bus to go to another source, this one is of course independent, because now this is going directly to the frequency A, and this doesn't affect the pitch, it only affects the filter now. And if you would like, for example, the frequency here to be modulated by the LFO also, now we are mixing the two buses here into that one. So that's not hard, you know. Think of it like that. I guess that would be like the easiest way to think of it. And then of course you have another source here, which is the polyphonic aftertouch, which is the main thing of the synthesizer, not to forget. And it's very simple also. For example, you have 3 destinations here, and one is frequency AB, or both. One is filter or amplitude, or both. And LFO, frequency or amount. So if you put this as frequency, let's assign something to LFO first. So now if I increase this and push polyphonic aftertouch, it speeds up. If I want even more, and remember that this is per note, so I can have this independent. So I was with this finger I was pressing a bit harder. Unfortunately this is a feature that I rarely use, but can be fun to play with, and for some people I guess it's very important, because I see that the interest for polyphonic aftertouch seems to be blowing to the sky these days. I'm not sure if it's the ones that are like to jam that prefer it more, because I find it quite hard, you know, to record polyphonic aftertouch and to change it later. But yeah, it's doable, but I think it's not that intuitive right now. So we can make another patch to explore the synth even more. And now I'm going to increase the program volume now directly, since I do like that. That's to my flavor. And remember that this is assigned by default here, so we'll remove it. Let's see, we try some pulse width now. And now we change the pulse width. Can go to 0. Let's try to, okay, maximum was like 64, let's take 30. And then we take the triangle here and we modulate, put a direct connection here to the pulse width A. Let's add some envelope here. Let's take another pulse. Make a perfect fifth. What's fun with this type of oscillator style here is you find it on the Pro 3 also, and on a Trigon 6. This doesn't follow the classical Prophet style where you're incrementing it by semitones. Instead here you have the octave, and here you can go smooth, detune, and it can go up to 7 semitones. If you want some velocity, you just press that button. I'm not quite sure, but if you take the option here for velocity, I think that if you lower it, you will have like a bass volume, and not a bass like a bass sound, but I mean like a fundamental volume, and then you can affect the rest with velocity. So lower value will make it sound a little bit, more volume, more gained, and this will affect more velocity over time. So perhaps you want it, depending on how hard you press the key, or fast should I say. You can add some velocity also to the filter. Which makes it more dynamic. Let's record a simple sequence. I like to make a sequence if I should make arpeggios, so I don't need to play them while I'm tweaking the sound. And something I noticed that I do like on this synth, I wish many had this, it's that when we go to noise and we change the noise type to violet, that's something I do like, that type of sound for complementing with. Because if you listen to the other colors here, like white, which is the most typical one you find on sequential synthesizers, I think that, I'm not sure how to say, but I think it's more for percussive sound. And then you have the pink, which is normally found on Moog synthesizer. Fattens up the sound a bit. But the violet, it gives something nice to the sound. I really like it. I don't know how to explain it, but I do like it. Another thing that I really do like is when we use this low frequency oscillator, but now it's occupied for the pulse width, but let's sacrifice it a bit. We don't use it for pulse width anymore. Let's use this to modulate the cutoff, but instead we're going to this random, and now going to change the type here, because they have a blue letter here, so you can change it to something else here. Let's take a noise, for example. Let's take violet. And we need to assign it first. It will now affect the cutoff and makes the sound a little bit more interesting. Oh, that was too much. I apologize for that. Nice for a sort of percussive sound. Let's try another type, white. It's like the small things that make such a big change in the sound sometimes. And another thing that can be worth to mention here is that sometimes you might think like, I want to control cutoff with my mod wheel like this. You can do that, but you need to use the LFO for that, but it won't create cyclic moment what we want to do. Instead, what we want to do is to change this sample and hold mode to something called direct current, DC. Now this is a static value, so it means that if you put this to mod wheel like this, and this will affect how much it will be like maximum, minimum, and now this will work now as you're using the mod wheel to control the cutoff. And if you want to decrease the strength of it, you do like that. You can reduce it even more. Even more. The only downside now is that we've been sacrificing our LFO for this. And another interesting thing that is that if you want to use an oscillator as an LFO, you can reduce the volume of it, and then you can go to low 1 or low 2, and let's assign it to do something. Oscillator B should modulate. What should we take? Should we take the cutoff? Now it's on pulse. Let's take a triangle instead. And remember that you can combine, you see, like this. And remember that you can do the same with LFO. You can combine it like that. So you create a mix of the different sources to become another type of source. So this knob now becomes the speed of the low frequency oscillator now. It's not an LFO in that way, but you know what I'm trying to say. An oscillator at low speed, which is not in the audible range anymore. I guess if I turn this up you won't hear anything anyway, because it's not in the audible area now. And if you want to make it go even faster, you have this low 2, so now it's a little bit more faster. And remember that that oscillator now is still following the keyboard tracking, so faster, slower, even slower. And so that's the possibilities you have. If you want to use that in that way and use something else to control, you know, to use the oscillator B to control another source with a slower speed instead. Feedback can be interesting. Hard to say how much we should put, but can create some interesting tonal effects through sound. Listen to that. You know, I think that I dare to say that I think I'm getting the hang of this synth now. It took so much time. This must have been the one that took most of my time to get the hang of it. Like, when I speak about hang of it, I mean like to get the feel for it, to find the sweet spots that I do like. Well, I think I dare to say that shamefully I've been misjudging this synth totally, just because that I haven't realized how big difference the program volume really made to the taste of how I like it. You can create so many cool sounds. I mean, even if it's so simple you can make a lot of sounds. Of course, it's not like a Take 5 where you have a mod matrix, but I mean, for what it is, you can make pretty much a lot of sound. And I kind of like that it's, you know, sharp sounding. Because I have so many other synths that do the job for being more organic and things like that, like Prophet 6. I would say that Take 5 is much smoother and rounder in the sound than this one, but this character, I do like it. But for me it would be hard to say that this would be the character that I really would have a very much use for. I think that this takes care of some things that, for me, that the other synth cannot take care of, and it's always like that, you know. No synth is taking so much. I mean, I don't know if any synth can be super versatile. I mean, some of them are very versatile, like the third wave, but it has its sound that makes it sound like a third wave. But yeah, it's super hard to say. I mean, that's the reason why we buy synths, that because we love them and it's fun to have them, and they sound different. And I'm tempted to try to make another sound again. Something interesting now, what I've been doing is to use a triangle, putting it some octave down, which makes a low frequency sound, rumbling a bit. I like that these envelopes are snappy. As you can hear, they can go really fast. And let's now we are missing out some keyboard tracking, so let's add it. Keyboard tracking will open the filter more here, and at the lower part it will close it a bit more. Key tracking, and it's full. You can take half if you want, but I think that I want full. So that determines like how much it should open at the higher and depending on at the lower. So it's like, imagine like a line goes like this, or it goes like that, you know, halfway or full, something like that. Since this is a triangle, it's absolutely perfect as a modulation source. Well, other things are also, but I mean, it's become smooth, so let's try to add it to something. What should we make it do? Should we take the cutoff frequency? I do like it now. Took so much time before I discovered that, but better late than never, you know. So yeah, I'm starting to like it more and more then. So perhaps this wasn't a bad purchase after all. I guess that most of the time we need to find, like, it takes a while before they settle in with all the things that we find as sweet spots and things like that. And I haven't been touching the Unison yet. Let's make it 3 voice. And let's detune the voice. What I notice when it comes to Unison detune is that don't think like this, like it's always should be that value, because it depends on so much on the voice of the program you're making. Because some programs sound better at specific values, or should I say, to your desires. So experiment with how much detune you should have. For example, this. No. Now it's becoming like very wobbly. If we go back to 40. Now this makes a big difference there. Or if we want to have it extreme. I have to say, I really do like this sound a lot now. Sound and the synth a lot now. I didn't expect it to become so good. So this was a good purchase. And yeah, I do think that I need to take back so much of what I've been saying about this synth, because I mean, come on, just one simple parameter. So this program volume thing made the synth sound so different. But I shouldn't be surprised, because the Pro 3 was the same, but that was going on the other direction, that you need to decrease the level instead. So I guess it's a matter of that it's always hard for the creators to put the perfect level for it in the beginning. It depends it's all about taste, I guess. So for me, this was the right taste decision. I think I'm rounding off tonight here, and I will make some more serious video of this synth, like a review video later on. That's my plan, but I want to make a good one, so that will take some time to produce. Till then, have a good time.